Imagine setting sail on a long voyage without a map, compass, or even a clear destination. Chances are, you'd end up lost, drifting, or stranded. Projects work the same way. Without planning, even the best crews and the fastest ships can go off course. In project management, planning is that map and compass. It doesn't just chart the destination, it prepares you for the storms, the detours, and the unexpected opportunities along the way. The central role of planning in project management. Planning is often called the heart of project management, and for good reason. No matter how ambitious a vision, innovative a strategy, or talented a team, a project without a clear plan risks drifting into confusion, delays, and cost overruns. Planning is the discipline of transforming ideas into actionable roadmaps, connecting strategy to execution. It answers the fundamental questions of what needs to be delivered, how it will be achieved, who will do it, when it will be done, and with what resources. Yet, planning is not a one-size-fits-all activity. Different project management methodologies, from traditional Waterfall to Agile, Lean, Prince2, critical chain, and hybrid approaches, offer different lenses through which planning is structured. Some emphasize comprehensive upfront detail, predictive, while others embrace adaptability and iteration, adaptive or agile. Still others blend both worlds to handle complex, evolving, or compliance-heavy projects. In today's dynamic environment, planning is no longer a static exercise completed at the beginning of a project and filed away. Instead, it is a living process, continuously reviewed and refined as conditions change, risks emerge, and opportunities arise. Successful planning is about balance, providing enough structure to guide execution while allowing enough flexibility to adapt when reality diverges from expectation. Understanding the different types of planning across methodologies empowers project managers to choose the right tools, techniques, and mindset for their context. Construction projects may demand meticulous upfront scheduling, while digital product teams thrive on iterative sprints. Crisis-driven projects need rapid containment and replanning, while enterprise-scale transformations require synchronized planning across dozens of teams. This exploration of planning across methodologies will highlight the core purpose of planning in project management. Compare how predictive, agile, hybrid, and specialized frameworks approach planning. Show how planning evolves from high-level strategy down to daily team activities. Provide insights into best-fit planning practices for different project environments. In short, this content aims to illustrate that planning is not merely a preparatory step, it is the strategic engine that drives projects toward success. 1. Traditional, predictive, waterfall, planning. The traditional, predictive, approach, commonly known as the waterfall model, is one of the oldest and most widely used planning frameworks in project management. Its defining characteristic is comprehensive upfront planning, where the majority of decisions about scope, schedule, budget, resources, and risks are made before execution begins. The philosophy is simple: the better you plan, the smoother the execution. Core characteristics of traditional planning. Linear structure. Projects move through sequential phases: initiation, right pointing arrow, planning, right pointing arrow, execution, right pointing arrow, monitoring and AMP, controlling, right pointing arrow, closure. Each phase must be completed before the next begins. Detailed documentation. Every aspect of the project is documented in advance: requirements, designs, processes, and risks. Predictability. Since changes are difficult and costly, later, the focus is on accuracy and foresight at the planning stage. Control-oriented. Planning is designed to give managers strong oversight and control over timelines, budgets, and deliverables. Key planning components: Project Management Plan, PMP. The master document integrating all subsidiary plans, scope, schedule, cost, quality, risk, procurement, communication, HR, stakeholder engagement. Work breakdown structure, WBS, a hierarchical decomposition of the project into deliverables and work packages. WBS serves as the foundation for estimating, scheduling, and resource allocation. Schedule planning, Gantt charts, CPM, PERT, Gantt charts, visual representation of task timelines and dependencies. Critical path method, CPM, identifies the longest sequence of dependent tasks, determining minimum project duration. Program evaluation and review technique, PERT, uses optimistic, pessimistic, and most likely estimates for uncertain activities. Resource planning assigns human resources, equipment, and materials to tasks based on availability and skills. Risk management plan identifies, analyzes, and develops response strategies for potential risks before execution begins. Quality management plan establishes quality standards, metrics, and control mechanisms. Change management plan. Since changes disrupt the predictive flow, a strict approval process governs how scope, budget, or schedule adjustments are managed. Strengths of traditional planning: clear roadmap from start to finish. Strong alignment with fixed scope projects, construction, manufacturing, defense. Easy to track progress against the original plan. Provides confidence to stakeholders and sponsors who want predictability. Weaknesses and challenges: limited flexibility. Unexpected changes can derail the plan. Heavy upfront effort may waste resources if assumptions prove wrong. Late discovery of issues, e.g., client dissatisfaction only after delivery. Not suitable for dynamic or innovative environments where requirements evolve. Example in practice. Consider the construction of a bridge. Requirements are clear, design is fixed, and changes are costly once foundations are laid. Here, traditional planning ensures that every detail, structural designs, safety checks, materials procurement, timelines, is meticulously mapped out before execution begins. Checkmark key insight. Traditional planning thrives in environments where requirements are stable, risks are well understood, and stakeholders demand predictability. It is less effective where uncertainty and change are inevitable. 2. Agile planning. Agile planning emerged as a response to the rigidity of traditional planning. Instead of trying to predict every detail at the start, Agile embraces adaptability, iteration, and continuous feedback. Planning is still essential, but it is approached as a living, evolving process rather than a one-time event. Core characteristics of Agile planning. Iterative and incremental. Plans are broken down into short cycles, sprints or iterations, that deliver working increments of the product. Customer-centric. Plans are guided by customer value and feedback, not just schedules and budgets. Adaptive. Change is expected and welcomed. Plans are updated continuously. Team-driven. Planning is collaborative, with teams self-organizing around goals rather than being directed top-down. Levels of Agile planning: vision and roadmap, strategic planning, high-level, long-term direction of the product or project. Defines why the project exists and what value it should deliver. Expressed in a product vision statement and a roadmap with broad milestones. Release planning, midterm planning, focuses on which features, epics or themes, will be delivered in a specific release. Aligns team efforts with business goals. Flexible, can be adjusted based on customer feedback or market shifts. Iteration, sprint planning, short-term planning, teams select work from the prioritized backlog, user stories. Defines a sprint goal and commits to delivering specific items in 1 to 4 weeks. Uses relative estimation, story points, planning poker, t-shirt sizing. Daily planning, micro-planning, conducted in daily stand-ups. Teams coordinate tasks, remove impediments, and adjust the sprint plan if needed. Continuous backlog refinement, rolling planning. The product backlog evolves continuously based on feedback, new requirements, and changing priorities. Ensures the most valuable work is always at the top. Tools and techniques in Agile planning: user stories and AMP, epics, capture requirements in a customer-centric way. Story points and AMP, velocity, measure team capacity and predict delivery pace. Burn down and AMP, burn up charts, visualize progress and scope changes. Kanban boards, show real-time workflow and WIP, work in progress, limits. Strengths of Agile planning: highly adaptive to change and uncertainty. Early and continuous delivery of value. Strong customer and stakeholder engagement. Empowers teams and improves morale through ownership. Provides transparency via visual tools and iterative reviews. Weaknesses and challenges: less predictability for cost and schedule at the start. Requires cultural change and discipline to work effectively. Stakeholders may struggle with less upfront documentation. Risk of scope creep if backlog is poorly managed. Example: in practice, consider the development of a mobile banking app. Customer needs and market features evolve rapidly. Instead of defining every screen and function up front, the team delivers the login module in one sprint, payment integration in another, and continuously adapts based on customer feedback and regulatory changes. Checkmark: key insight. Agile planning thrives in dynamic, uncertain environments where value delivery and adaptability are more critical than strict adherence to an initial plan. 3. Hybrid planning. Hybrid planning is the middle ground between traditional predictive methods, like Waterfall, and adaptive methods, like Agile. It recognizes that some projects, or parts of projects, require structured, upfront planning, while others benefit from flexibility and iteration. Instead of forcing one methodology onto every situation, hybrid planning combines the best of both worlds. Core characteristics of hybrid planning. Dual approach. Uses predictive planning for stable, well-defined aspects and agile planning for uncertain or innovative components. Tailored governance. Maintains oversight and accountability, e.g., budgets, compliance, while allowing adaptability in execution. Progressive elaboration. Starts with high-level predictive plans and refines details iteratively. Stakeholder alignment. Balances the needs of executives, predictability, with delivery teams, flexibility. Common hybrid models: Agile, Waterfall. Hybrid: high-level project schedule, milestones, and budget created upfront, Waterfall. Detailed execution of deliverables, e.g., software modules, handled in sprints, Agile. Example: in a healthcare IT project, regulatory documentation is planned predictively, but software functionality is delivered iteratively. Stage gate with Agile uses stage gate reviews to approve progress at key checkpoints. Inside each stage, Agile teams deliver incrementally. Example: pharmaceutical R&D uses strict gates for compliance, but Agile iterations for research cycles. Rolling wave planning. Immediate work is planned in detail. Future work is outlined broadly and refined as the project progresses. Example: in aerospace projects, near-term subsystem design is detailed, while long-term launch phases remain high-level until closer to execution. Key planning components in hybrid: master schedule, predictive, high-level roadmap with milestones and dependencies. Agile iteration plans, adaptive, sprint or iteration backlogs for detailed execution. Governance plans. Change control, compliance, and reporting mechanisms to satisfy sponsors and regulators. Integration points. Defined checkpoints to align predictive milestones with Agile outputs. Strengths of hybrid planning: flexibility where innovation is needed, control where stability is critical. Reduces risk of failure in large, complex projects. Enables organizations to meet compliance requirements without stifling innovation. Provides executives with predictability while empowering teams with autonomy. Weaknesses and challenges: risk of confusion if roles and responsibilities are unclear. Requires strong coordination to avoid conflicts between predictive and agile streams. Can become the worst of both worlds, if poorly implemented, too rigid for teams, too loose for executives. Heavier management overhead compared to purely agile or waterfall. Example in practice: imagine a smart city infrastructure project. The construction of roads, utilities, and buildings is planned predictively with detailed schedules, contracts, and budgets. The development of smart applications, traffic control apps, citizen engagement platforms, is managed using agile sprints. Together, the hybrid approach ensures compliance with public sector regulations while enabling innovation in technology solutions. Checkmark key insight. Hybrid planning is most effective for large, complex, and regulated projects that must balance predictability and adaptability. It is increasingly the go-to approach in industries where compliance and innovation coexist. Would you like me to continue with 4. PRINCE2 planning, or would you prefer I pause here and create a smooth transition summary, tying together traditional, agile, and hybrid before moving on? 4. PRINCE2 planning. PRINCE2, projects in controlled environments, is one of the most widely used project management frameworks, particularly in Europe and government sectors. Unlike many methodologies that focus primarily on activities and timelines, PRINCE2 takes a product-based planning approach. This means it focuses first on what needs to be delivered, the products or deliverables, and only then defines how and when those products will be created. Core characteristics of PRINCE2 planning: product-oriented. Planning starts with outputs, products, rather than tasks. Stage-based. Projects are divided into manageable stages, each planned in detail before execution. Exception-driven. Plans include tolerance levels for time, cost, scope, quality, risk, and benefits. If tolerances are exceeded, an exception plan is triggered. Role-defined. Clear responsibilities between project board, project manager, and team managers in creating and managing plans. Types of plans in PRINCE2 project plan: high-level view of the entire project lifecycle. Defines overall objectives, resources, costs, and timescales. Used by the project board for governance and decision-making. Stage plans: detailed plans for each management stage. Created before the start of each stage, ensuring flexibility to adapt after review. Team plans: created by team managers to detail the work required to deliver specific products. Not mandatory but often used for operational clarity. Exception plans replaces a stage or project plan if tolerances are forecasted to be exceeded. Ensures corrective actions are planned rather than improvising mid-execution. The product-based planning technique: PRINCE2's signature approach to planning involves 4 steps. Identify products: create a product breakdown structure, PBS, to list all deliverables. Define product descriptions for each product, specify purpose, composition, quality criteria, and method of acceptance. Create a product flow diagram, shows the sequence and dependencies of product creation. Develop activity plans only after products are defined, tasks and activities required to deliver them are planned. Strengths of PRINCE2 planning: clear alignment with business objectives, focus on deliverables, not just tasks. Strong governance via tolerances and exception handling. Structured planning process reduces ambiguity in responsibilities. Staged planning allows flexibility and control simultaneously. Weaknesses and challenges can feel bureaucratic and documentation heavy. May be too rigid for small, fast-moving projects. Requires disciplined adherence to rules and processes. Less intuitive for teams used to task or activity-based planning. Example in practice: consider a government IT system implementation. The project plan defines total costs, benefits, and rollout timeline. Stage plans break the project into phases: requirements gathering, system design, pilot deployment, and full rollout. A product breakdown structure identifies deliverables like user manuals, training modules, software modules, and infrastructure components. If the design phase exceeds budget or time tolerances, an exception plan is prepared before proceeding further. Checkmark key insight. PRINCE2 planning excels in structured, high-governance environments, especially where accountability, documentation, and risk management are critical. Its product-based approach ensures clarity on deliverables before execution begins. 5. Lean and AMP, Six Sigma planning. Lean and Six Sigma are process improvement methodologies rather than full-scale project management frameworks, but they are frequently applied in project contexts to reduce waste, improve quality, and increase efficiency. Planning in these approaches emphasizes process mapping, data-driven decision-making, and customer value rather than just task sequencing. Core characteristics of Lean and AMP. Six Sigma planning customer-centric. Every plan is oriented toward delivering value to the customer, the voice of the customer. Waste elimination. Lean plans are designed to minimize non-value-added activities, waste, or muda. Variation reduction. Six Sigma planning focuses on identifying and controlling sources of process variation. Data-driven. Planning decisions are based on measurements, statistics, and analytics rather than assumptions. Planning in the Six Sigma DMAIC cycle define phase. Develop a project charter outlining problem statement, goals, scope, business case, and stakeholders. Plan for data collection and stakeholder engagement. Measure phase. Plan how current processes will be measured, KPIs, metrics, baselines. Use tools like CCPM, suppliers, inputs, process, outputs, customers, diagrams. Analyze phase. Plan statistical analysis to identify root causes of problems. Prioritize which factors are critical to quality, CTQ. Improve phase. Develop improvement initiatives and pilot tests. Plan Kaizen events or rapid improvement workshops. Control phase. Create control plans to ensure improvements are sustained over time. Plan monitoring activities, dashboards, and feedback loops. Planning in Lean projects. Value stream mapping, VSM, maps out the current process, current state, and designs the desired future process, future state. Planning focuses on eliminating bottlenecks and unnecessary steps. Kaizen planning organizes short, focused events, usually 3 to 5 days, where teams brainstorm, test, and implement improvements. Requires planning for cross-functional participation and rapid execution. Pull system planning plans processes around demand rather than forecasts, aligning resources to customer needs. Tools and techniques for Lean and AMP. Six Sigma planning. CCPM diagrams. Value stream maps. Cause and effect, fishbone diagrams. Control charts. Failure mode and effects analysis, FMEA. Strengths of Lean and AMP. Six Sigma planning. Strong alignment with customer needs and business goals. Data-driven. Reducing guesswork. Provides measurable improvements in cost, quality, and efficiency. Works well in operational, manufacturing, and service environments. Weaknesses and challenges. Narrow focus on processes rather than the broader project environment. Requires strong organizational culture and executive support. Heavy reliance on data and statistical expertise. May be too rigid if applied to highly creative or innovative projects. Example in practice. Imagine a manufacturing plant reducing defects in an assembly line. In the define phase, the project charter states the goal of reducing defects by 30% within 6 months. The measure phase involves collecting baseline defect rates. The analyze phase uses root cause analysis to identify machine calibration issues. The improve phase tests new calibration processes through a Kaizen event. The control phase implements control charts to ensure defect rates remain low over time. Checkmark key insight. Lean and AMP. 6. Sigma planning is best suited for process improvement projects where efficiency, quality and cost reduction are priorities. It complements, but does not replace, other planning methodologies in broader project management. End of Part 1.